is one Father's Day present that you probably kind of always wanted, but you never actually really said? Like, what's a really good Father's Day present?
I ain't never asked for it, but if it's gonna be some ass. That's why I'm a father.
You want like specialty ass. You know what I mean?
This is true.
Like, wrap that shit in a bow. For, like, do some shit we ain't ever did before.
That's
Call
true.
your friend. I fucked a couple of girls.
So you the reason she's so bold.
I ain't gonna say no names on camera, but you don't fuck some self-esteem up out there.
You said you was fucking the girl when you was 13 or 12.
Wait, come on, man.
All right, so we got Father's Day coming up this weekend.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day to you, brothers.
Happy
Same
Father's
to you.
Day,
Happy
fellas.
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to my old men, really, because I got kind of like two dads. I got a stepdad that was there for me my whole life that I live with. I got a lot of my personality from, but I also got my OG too.
Okay.
So happy Father's Day to my guys as well, and to my grandfather. Rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
But happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day to y'all
We
out there.
almost need to like go around and say like say happy Father's Day to our old man.
I just got one dad. Father's Day cute.
Me too. Why do we feel out? Why do we feel like outsiders? Because we got one dad.
Hey,
So
people got
yeah,
none.
you know, I got Happy Father's Day to my dad. Happy Father's Day to my grandfather on my mom's side. Rest in peace.
Why are you excluding you didn't meet, you don't know your
I
dad?
never met him.
I was like, dang, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I would definitely exclude my mom and daddy.
Yeah, it be like that.
Yeah.
It be like that. Happy Father's Day to all the men that helped raise me.
There you go.
Calvin ain't got no daddy.
Hey, it be like that.
Yeah.
Look at you. Great father, though. You are.
You
really
turned
are.
out as a great father for sure.
For sure.
Hey,
So this is our
everybody
Father's
in the room.
This is our Father's Day episode. We're going to kind of keep it to the fatherly content today. We got quite a few different questions about just raising kids, being raised by our fathers, different things like that. But my first question, just to set it off for you guys, is what is one Father's Day present that you probably kind of always wanted, but you never actually really said? Like, what's a really good Father's Day present? Go ahead. I see your face.
I don't know. I'm not a big gifts person. That's my problem.
Same.
So I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all go.
I mean, I'm on the same boat. Like, I don't ever ask for gifts, but I ain't never asked for it. But if it's gonna be some ass. That's why I'm a father, right? You know, give me some ass on Father's Day. That's what
Everything's
made me a
good.
father.
I just want to practice.
See, the only reason why I say that is because I feel like my wife already knows that I want that.
You don't get
you
asked every
said-
Father's Day.
Huh?
I don't think you get asked every Father's Day. Well, you only
No,
ask a
I'm
couple
saying that
Father's
she
Day.
already knows that's a gift that I want. And I think your question was like, what's a gift that
You've never said.
you've
that
never
you-
said? Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Have you ever said it though? You want some ass
Absolutely.
for
I
Father's
want-
Day?
I want.
When I'm asked, that's usually like, I don't really want nothing else, but
Absolutely. My birthday,
you don't
Father's
say
Day.
it?
Nah.
You don't, bro. Every time they should ask me what I want for something, that my automatic response. is
So
want
I
some
think
ass.
it's because I think it's one of those things that goes,
Without saying?
yeah, what's understood don't need to be said.
Yeah.
But I ain't never came out and just said it.
Here's the thing, too. You also got to, like, make sure you don't get, like, like, save the socks, give some head. Like, that should be the slogan. But here's the thing they don't know.
That shit funny.
Here's the thing they don't know, though. For me, it's not just like, give me, I could take some ass for the present.
Actually,
Regular
you know
ass?
what? No. Give me some head.
Here what
And
I
I
was
ain't
going
gotta
to
do nothing.
Yeah.
Regular ass ain't a present. That's like, I don't want to say duty, but like that's
Job
it's a
description.
Yeah, it's a responsibility of a wife. You want like specialty ass. You know what I mean?
This is true.
Like wrap that shit in a bow for like do some shit we ain't ever did before.
That's
Call
true.
your friend. No, okay, I ain't gonna get in trouble. Let me not get in trouble. I already see your face. You about to clip that up. You try to
What's
get me
the
in
time
trouble.
on
Hey, she about to open the episode with that one.
Right. Nah, but for real though, like maybe the friend part is a little too far. But I'm just saying, like, do something that we ain't ever did before if it's a gift.
Yeah.
Don't give me the regular Wednesday on first day of October as on Father's Day, right?
No, I agree
You
with
want to
that.
get slutted out.
Come on, dog. Pause, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like
We know you like Meg Thee
freaky.
Stallion, you know.
Send me.
I will. You got our first studio fight.
Yeah.
So is it
Nah, I'm
different?
with that. I'm with that though. Like definitely I don't want to have too much initiation in that day. I don't want like I got it.
Like
you
sex
know,
wise or just general?
no, just sex wise for that. Like
Yeah.
when we talk about specialty ass, like it's got to be something where like I think all I'm gonna be doing is watching the Dodgers, and then next thing I know, bam, dick out.
Yeah, that's like do some shit where you planned it out. Like oh, so she thought about this. Like she really
Like come downstairs in a Mookie Betts jersey.
nah. Fuck
And
that.
that's
Like
Not like that,
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
just saying nothing
but
else
because the
under.
game was on, and
Exactly,
then now-
because
okay.
you know I'm watching the Dodgers
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Something like that. That would be
Think
like
about it. Be
that would be
creative.
a good father. That would be a fantastic Father's Day present.
Can't go wrong, and it's free.
Yeah. It's
Save the
very
thoughts.
attainable.
It's a man.
Is there anything else though? Like I know we kind of went straight there.
I don't think there is anything else because if there's something that we want, we're gonna buy it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we are very hard to shop for.
Okay, here's another like
Yes.
anything that we could do that they would be better at us doing. Like if my wife did just like buy me a few shirts, that would be good, but not because I want them, but she picks better shit than me sometimes. So like that would be kind of cool. Even if she was like,
Some
"Can I get
clothes.
$100 so I can buy you these shirts?" That would be good because I didn't have to find it, and now I got new shit. I'm just trying to think it's like outside the box
That brings up a valid point.
because that's like down here compared to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it brings up a valid point of just not having to think.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
I feel like that's one of the greatest gifts
Yes.
is not having to think, because we all got to do it all day for work, whatever, leading the house. Like, just take the thinking
You
out
know,
of
it'd
it.
be a good one, and y'all might laugh at me. I might ask for that too this year. You got to figure out dinner every day this week.
for a week. That's
Seven
gonna be
Ooh, you can't
disappointing,
ask
though.
me what do you want for dinner or nothing.
I'm just gonna show up at the table.
Yes, I don't got to figure out. Like, don't ask me what you
You
want.
got the biggest smile.
You just drive me to whatever restaurant we going to.
That's even good too, because I'm thinking he talk about cooking every single day.
Nah,
It's
nah,
just
nah.
like
Take the thinking out of
Just
it.
figure out dinner.
Like
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
have
it
to make
is.
a decision. Decision fatigue is such a huge problem for me. Like
Yeah.
there's times where like Danielle will be like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, I don't want you to ask me. Like let's just do whatever. I don't want to be the decision maker right
Yep.
Yeah.
now. It happens a lot on weekends too.
That's
I
a
like it.
very. I've never used that phrase, but
Decision
decision fatigue.
Yes.
That shit is.
It
That shit's
sucks.
real.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
you
that's
got-
what you meant though when you said take the thought out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? No more presents that I can think of.
Now,
So-
we simple, man.
Yeah.
Simple as hell.
Yeah.
Nuts empty, stomach full.
2 weeks in a row.
Slogan.
Starting to be a theme here.
All right, so this is one that you brought up a little bit ago. Is single mothers taking credit on Father's Day?
Dog, that irks me, man. Like, you don't see niggas on Mother's Day being like, shout out to the single dads. Like, we
Right.
give moms they flowers. You know, there's all this talk about deadbeat dads, this and that. But when you got real men out there that's stepping up,
Yep.
right? And I hate I hate being praised for being a good dad. Like, no,
Right.
like I'm supposed to be a dad.
No, for sure.
Yeah, but like, don't come in and you not a dad talking about where my flowers at. I done all this and that. Like, no, right? Like,
Yeah.
So there's for the mothers that didn't have that, like, just take your Mother's Day and keep it pushing.
yeah, you
Well,
got
there's-
a day that celebrates you. This is about dads.
Yeah, because I think like the way that men take on it is like, even if you are a single dad, like we got boys that are single dads, they celebrate their mother. They celebrate, they would celebrate their kids if their kids were mothers. Like, so do the same thing. If you're a single mom and You raise your kid, we get it. We all know, the whole world knows you've been shitting on your absent ass baby daddy for however long.
Yeah.
But like, if you still have your dad, let's focus on him today. If you have somebody close to you that's a good father, let's recognize him. We don't need to turn it back on you.
Yeah. Like dads already like don't get like super celebrated, right? And we don't ask for it, right? But this one day of the year, just let us have our one day.
Yeah.
And I think there's an important, like, people have to know that you can't replace an absent dad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you being a single mom, you still aren't dad.
Right.
You could never be dad. Like, that's a void in your kid's life that you can't fill no matter what you do, right?
That's
like,
huge.
Yeah.
paying all the bills don't make you mom and dad. That just makes you mom that's paying all the bills, because dad does way more than just pay bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same way that, as a single dad, you could never replace mom,
Right.
if mom wasn't in the picture.
Absolutely.
I think that's why you can't try to take that holiday and like make it yours if that's not who you are.
Yeah, you just mic drop right now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
it is
that's
what it
the
is.
best point right there.
Would it be fair, like, to say that there is extra praise due to the single moms that do it by themselves?
No. And I was raised by a single mom.
Like,
Extra praise? What?
on Father's Day or just like any other?
No, not on Father's, not on Father's Day. Just extra, like, could it be fair to have a single Mother's Day, like the Mother's Day?
I'm sure it's one
If
out
they
there.
added an extra holiday, sure.
Yeah.
I'm all for giving people all the praise in the world, just not when it's assigned to somebody else.
Is it like a discount to dads to for you to step in? Is it like a all lives matter type of situation when mothers be like, I was a single mama, so I'm the mama and the daddy? Is that how y'all feeling? Or
No, I just think it's a lack of awareness of what a dad actually is and brings to the table. Like, no matter what you do,
it's like a stud trying to
you
say she a
could
man.
never be dad. Like, that's really what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
You're stupid.
You think about that Instagram video?
No.
What?
This is you making a really good point, and I gotta deal with this nigga next to me.
I thought I was helping.
Hell no. I did not help at all.
Okay, let's move on.
I'll say you definitely bought some comedic relief if that was getting too deep for anybody.
Okay. So I would really say that everybody in this room is a good father.
For sure.
And I feel like at some point I've told y'all, like, out of the blue, just from like seeing some stuff that y'all have done, that y'all are good fathers. What do y'all like? How do y'all feel about real deadbeat dads? Because to me, it's like almost two different. Like, I can't understand. I don't know where your mind frame is.
I can't fuck with them.
Me neither. I can never associate myself with somebody that
Like,
has
you
kids.
you can't be a friend. You can't be a nut. I don't even know if you could be a fucking client.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love
Not
that
real
stance,
like, nigga,
like-
you come to me as a deadbeat dad wanting to buy a house, nigga, go find a spot under a bridge. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, like for me, I hate when like you hear dudes talk about, oh, my baby mama this, my baby mama that, she won't let me see the kids. Ain't
Nigga.
no way in fucking hell
Nigga, go to court.
anybody can stop me from seeing my kids.
Exactly.
Well,
Hell no.
I do agree with that, but I have lived throughout, some people's journeys that tried to be involved, and baby mamas created obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and
Oh,
so they
for
still
sure.
ended up being a part of their child's life, but not in the way that I would say, because I think the same way. Like, there's no way in hell you're gonna stop me from seeing my kid, but when you put all those obstacles in front of it, it does like dampen the experience of getting to be a father, because you're not getting to do everything that you want to do, because you still gotta fucking jump through this hoop and run around this wall, like, just to get to one moment. And
But I hear you on that, but I'm gonna overcome every obstacle for that one moment.
Yep.
no, for sure.
Yeah,
And
like-
they have.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, which that doesn't go in the box of deadbeat dad, but I just wanted to make sure I, praise the guys who do go through hell, because they are trying to be present, and some baby mamas do make it very, very challenging to be able to do that for a while.
I would say it's the modern days though. It's a little easier nowadays than it was 30 years ago for fathers to like just go do it legally and be like, I'm gonna see my kids. I'm gonna make sure I fight in court. I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna make sure that I represent a good household. 30 years ago, weekend dad was your best option. Like, I mean, I guess I don't know because I was a kid too, but
I don't know.
It seemed like that was the standard at best. You could be a weekend dad if you were fit to be a dad. I don't know.
Do you think that
like full custody or split custody parents?
Do you think that is part of like the times getting better, or just our generation realizing like you got to do more about it?
I feel like times have gotten better.
Yeah.
You think that court systems have changed?
I think effort changed.
I think there's multiple things that went in motion that kind of converged into a better opportunity. I think women have a better understanding. I think roles have become a little more equal with women working and not just being like the man works and I am the nurturer and the provider. I think men have become more part of their kids' lives outside of being providers. I think there's a lot of things that happen, but now it's more suitable than it was. And I don't think 30 years ago it was people weren't fighting for it. It's just not enough people were, and there was a standard. And going outside of that would have to be an extreme case.
See, I'm on the side of, I think 30 years ago they wasn't fighting for that shit. Like,
yeah, I think it was just
when I think about my dad, and then I think about other people his age where they dads wasn't, like, it just was like they ain't give a fuck. Like they was just having babies and moving on. Mm-hmm. Versus like, that's what I said. Like, I feel like it was a generational change for us. Like, I've seen people our age or in our age range that are like, that shit's not happening in my household and with my kids. But I don't know enough about the court system to know if that shit's improved or not. So I would love to see in the comments if that's a thing or not. But I feel like effort changed more than anything.
On the way here, I was thinking like, I do think we are like in the era. Like, I think our generation of dads, I think we might be the best generation right now.
For
as
sure.
Far as like, we're not just around as dads, like we are involved.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the amount of dads that I see that are just so involved in every aspect of their children's lives today, I don't feel that was the case.
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I agree with Tay as far as like there's an effort in there where like dads are showing up for their kids.
Yeah.
Regardless if they're with the mother or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a stat on social media, and obviously I don't know what the source is or if it's true or not, but it said that 80% of kids nowadays live in a two-parent household.
80?
80. 8 out of 10.
Did it break it down by
biological?
anything?
Nope, it didn't break it down by race or anything like, or location or anything like that. But when I think about just the people that I know,
that's about accurate.
That's very well.
And I
very
wonder
accurate.
if it's the two-parent household is your same two biological parents, or if it's like there's a stepfather. Or
Yeah, that's
question.
my question.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
But I think it would, if I had to take my best guess, I think there's going to be a step parent in there.
Yeah,
But
I mean, not yeah.
Either way,
Like
still
the
good to
option
see.
Still goes into the two-parent.
But like even just trying to think of single moms, like I don't know if I know any right now.
I know
Dang.
a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I do.
Like I don't.
Not off the
when
top of my
and
head,
when I say
anyway.
single mom, I'm talking about in the context that like I grew up, right?
Yeah,
Not my mom is single, and she's a mom, right? But my dad is still like involved in the picture, blah blah blah, right? I mean, like she couldn't get $5 from that nigga if she wanted to. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know any of those moms right now.
Yeah.
Like I know a few people where it's like,
I
okay,
got a couple cousins. I forgot
relationship
about.
didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Ooh,
a
me
mom,
too.
but even if dad ain't in the house, he's still involved.
Some kind of
I say the
contribution.
majority of people I know fit that, but I
Yeah.
do know a couple
You know a
moms
couple?
where like dad ain't nowhere near in the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Now that he's spoken about it, like I do know situations where we don't want the dad in the picture.
Yeah. So
You know what? I just thought of one that's real close to me.
Y'all talk about the same person?
No.
Oh.
No. This is in like my family. But
Yeah, it's in my family too.
So as far as like deadbeat dads and all that, what do you think is like the misconception of like deadbeat dads in the Black community? Like I think that has made a whole flip in the last 20 years or so.
Can you clarify that for me?
I think.
They have, it's the stereotype that Black fathers ain't around.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
And I would say outside of those that are like in the prison system, I don't know any.
I mean, obviously there's some that's out there,
For sure.
but I don't think it's like I think today, like if you get into like a race war conversation with someone, they're
Mhm.
gonna say probably, well, you ain't got no daddy, and like not even like know what's really going on. Like, I don't think that's really the case. Like,
No.
I know I can't count how many Black dads that I know
Yeah.
that are around and like involved. Like I said before, like we here.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
And
It ain't going nowhere.
and it is undeniable, like how proud I am of like just looking on. And I know people post stuff for like social media, but like no, like these cats, like they are like they're not doing this for the ground. Like
Yeah.
they out here at practices, they're at games,
Yep.
they're talking about their kids' grades. You
Yep.
know, like they're aware with like what other kids they let their kids hang around with, what other
Yep.
parents they're hanging out with. Like I see our Black dads like really doing the damn thing.
Love it
I
up for
wonder
sure.
If we had Joe here today, because he has a much different perspective. He has eyes on
More kids.
kids,
Mm-hmm.
and he has eyes on them kids. It's like the knuckleheads. Like I wonder if he has the same perspective of like a lot of these niggas ain't got no daddies.
Yeah, it could be just for us. Our perspective is who we surround ourselves with.
Yep.
Literally,
Very
that was
true.
my
Yeah,
perspective.
like we all
Very true.
said, we're not going to
Like,
associate with somebody that's not in
Yeah.
their kids'
And
life.
naturally, I don't know any.
Could you imagine being like seeing somebody that you maybe work with a coworker and just be like, damn, I want to kind of be cool with them niggas, but they all some good dads. I don't know if they gonna accept me. Like, you think it's a nigga out there like that?
Right.
Like,
I just
damn,
imagine,
they gonna
like-
judge me because I don't take care of my kids.
Mhm.
Hey,
Always
and I will
talking about
too.
it. Oh, without
Right.
I will. I'm gonna have all the jokes till you quit.
Oh yeah. You gonna go down in flames with this
What
group.
you need this job for? You ain't providing for nobody. Go find your spot under the bridge, nigga.
So talk about the Black dads though. Like, what is it like raising a son in America right now? A Black son in America and a daughter.
No, I mean I don't have the son perspective, but
Yeah.
obviously watching my brother raise my 3 nephews
Yeah.
is, I mean, I know there's a realm of things he's always thinking about, when it comes to how they will succeed, what they still need to understand about people's perception of them, like all those type of things. So I'm ready to hear y'all's perspective for sure.
Yeah, I remember when Julian was like first born. Me and Mary having these conversations. It's, obviously, Mary's she's Mexican, so she doesn't truly understand 100%, right? She's minority, but still it's different.
Yeah.
And I remember Julian being 1 year old, and I'm having this conversation with her. And she didn't quite get it. But then over the years, after she sees a new world being with me, talking about stuff in the house, what's going on, and she's like, wow, like eyes opened up. And some of the things I think is challenging for me is like Julian, which is good, goes to a very diverse school. Right? So like it's so much diversity in the school to where he's not really being put in situations where it's tough. Like, oh, this is a Black kid and he's experienced things other than other kids in the school. So, but like, when he goes out to the real world, eventually he's going to experience something like that happens. So like having those conversations and trying to get him to understand it without him experiencing it. Like that's really challenging for me.
Yeah. It almost seems impossible to me.
No, it's tough. It's tough. Like obviously, like Jaden, my oldest, right, 6'4", 220 pounds, and he's 15, right, when he's this size. And it's just when you talk about shaping the child's perspective. Like it's tough to get them to understand how people view them.
Yeah.
Right. To get him to understand, like, get it. You
They
15.
see you as a grown
Yeah,
ass.
that's
You
right.
look like a grown ass man
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like
A grown ass black
getting them
man.
to understand, and you got dreads and you got a little facial hair, and like getting them to understand that without putting them in a position where now when they walk outside,
Yeah.
that person who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't view them like that, right? You almost get that reverse impact of
Yeah.
like, oh, I know how you think of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Making sure he doesn't go out and view the world like that, so he can still have genuine relationships and
Mhm.
connections with people that aren't of the same race.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
finding that balance is probably the hardest thing.
And then also just not like, because if you continue to talk about like how the world views you, then they start to question their worth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's their value?
Yep. Yeah.
So like balancing uplifting them, but
Yep.
letting them know what the real world is coming
Yeah.
for you. Like that's another thing that's tough.
That's for sure. When you said getting them like in a very diverse school, I actually kind of have like a very opposite thought process, because one of my goals is, I've talked about moving to Texas a few times. I really want to move to like a Houston neighborhood that's very affluent, that's like majority black, or like somewhere in DC or somewhere like that where it's like
to Charlotte.
majority black people in the neighborhood, but it's affluent black people, so you
Yeah.
can surround yourself with success, people with their head on right, but they also look like you. So
Right.
you don't feel like there are successful people, but I'm not supposed to be one of them. That diversity matters, but the thing that kind of like keeps coming to my mind is there's this clip of Michelle Obama, and somebody asks her, how did you reach so many of your goals and then fight against like being black in Chicago, and basically people telling you this is not who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And her response was like, it wasn't new to me. Like she was like, at every level, I was the best, and then I had people pushing that into my brain throughout my childhood. So then she's like, in elementary school to whatever, I was the best. I was the smartest. When I got to high school, I finished valedictorian. When
Yeah.
I got to college, it was like kind of, she said it was kind of like, what's the word? It was a little scary for her being, I think she was at Harvard or
Yeah,
something
she
like
went to
that.
Harvard. Yeah.
And it was intimidating is the word I was looking for, her to be there and be like, Harvard is the cream of the crop. And then she's like, she went there and was like, realized that she is the best there too. She's basically saying like, every time that I've done anything, I would just challenge myself to be the best. And then when I realize I'm the best, I'm like, it reconfirms what I've been told my whole life. So for me, it's like, put my kids in a surrounding where they can execute, but then they're being told the same thing, and then they believe it. And then it's not hard to like see yourself as the success when you're out into the world. Because now the world can't really tell you much if you've been told it, you've done it, and it like reassures everything that you know. So that's like one of my like goals, is to get my kids out of Vegas, more so CCSD, if I'm being honest, but more around people that look like them, that also are going in the direction that I'm hoping that they're going to go to.
I really feel like it's important to set the standard and hold your kids to it all the way through. So that way, when they do get in those situations to where they're unsure of, are they really everything that we've been telling them, they push through and they excel, and it instills a little bit more belief in them. But I think that for sure, to me, has just been what's the word I'm looking for? But it's kind of like been my rock, like for me growing up. Like it was like just be the fucking best, and nobody will have questions. And do that to the best of your ability. And then on the side that does apply to women is, and I think we talked about this a lot, especially because we worked in the same environment for a while, like have a voice. Like use your fucking voice, have that voice, believe in that voice. People are gonna be intimidated by it because you're a black woman. Like just know that. But at the end of the day, if you got something to say it, stand on it, and act on it. You know.
Yeah.
I think also raising a daughter, black daughter, it's important that they love themselves.
Yeah.
Constantly teach them to love who they are, because I think for boys, we don't really look at it too much. At least I know I didn't grow up looking at like what famous person was on TV and that this person was glorified, right?
This is true.
I think from a woman or a little girl, right, when they're looking on TV and stuff, like how often do they see someone that looks like them, right? Like that's why, like with Jay, like I'm so adamant, like all her Barbie dolls, they look just like her, right? Whether they're light skinned, they're dark skinned, they're curly hair, like representation is like so important for a young black girl to see. So that's something that I'm really big on as well when it comes to raising my daughter.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think image is important for sure. I think to your point of like growing up and not necessarily seeing people that look like you, I think when I think about myself as a kid, like the validation came from having like muscles, right? Like, oh, you got a six pack. Oh, let me see you flex, right? Like stuff like that. Yeah. And that's something that spans all races, right? But when you look at girls, like it's completely different, right? Like theirs is a direct reflection of this supermodel, this person on a magazine, this person in a movie, like, and I just think it goes back to how people pick, right? Like, looks matter for guys, sure, but I think there's a socially accepted reality that what we do or what we provide means so much more than like what we look like.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas with women, until you actually get to the point where you're a mature male looking for a wife, like what you look like is damn near all that matters. Right? And what you provide and who you are doesn't really become important to guys until I'm actually trying to get to know somebody. Right. So as they're kind of going through those teenage years to early 20s, and guys are just looking to get it wet, right? Like, how do you get through that and maintain your self-esteem without having a dad that's just kind of instilled in you? Trust me, the smart ones know, right? The good guys know. Yeah. Like, he's a knucklehead. Don't even trip.
I don't have a daughter, but I have a little bit of a challenge for you guys. I feel like it went from like making sure my son like understands like the blackness and make sure they're successful and being around the right crowd to like the daughters being like, make sure you understand that your beauty is beautiful and make sure that, you know, you can be accepted and love yourself. I feel like the boys need to know those things a little bit, but not as much. But I do think the opposite. The girls need to know the like, you still need to work hard. You still need to make sure, like, is that for you guys as important?
No, that is. I think we were just talking about a different element for raising a daughter.
Yeah. Like, I feel like my part kind of covered that.
Yeah. Like, I instill the same work ethic in Jade that I instill in Julian.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
that doesn't stop at all, right? Like, they're both doing summer work all summer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not only making Julian do extra work over the summer and not making Jade doing it.
Yeah. But no, I think it is the same to your point. And if it didn't come through in what I was explaining earlier, like that's something that I'm trying to make sure my daughter understands, right? Is that who you are and what you're capable of and what you kind of bring to the table as a person. Like the mature guys, the guys that you should care about, right? Being interested in you, like that matters to them.
Yeah.
Right. Like the guy who wants you to look like that, the guy who's like, oh, you should go get a BBL, right? Like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah, they don't really care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there a double, like, there's double standards?
There's definitely a double standard, which is why the looks, when it comes to daughters, matters, because there's a whole phase where we are 100% fuck boys and we can tear down some self-esteem. You know what I mean?
I thought he was gonna say something else.
Oh, nigga, nah, trust me. And I'm shit. Guilty of it. You know what I mean?
I'm with
Like
you.
guilty of it. Like there was a
Yeah.
point in my life where, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you didn't fit my mold.
I don't know if I was ever like really, really bad. I think I was like a good 16-year-old.
You ever had an ugly chick holler at you?
No, that's not. I mean, that's not killing too many. I didn't kill nobody's self-esteem too bad like that.
I'm
So
not
yes
gonna-
or no? You ever had?
Sure, yeah.
How'd you turn her down?
I fucked a couple of girls.
I ain't
So
gonna
you
say
the
no
reason she's
names.
so bold.
I ain't gonna say no names on camera, but you don't fuck some self-esteem up out there. You have. We can talk about it off camera. I ain't gonna say no
They
names.
ain't listening.
I ain't gonna say nobody's name.
Okay, I ain't as bad as y'all was. How about that?
Fair.
I don't fit in y'all. I'm
Oh, you full of shit too.
no. I was a
You a stand-up guy?
I'm a stand-up
At
guy
15,
all the way
oh
through,
my God.
nigga.
You said you was fucking a girl when you was 13 or 12.
Wait, come on, man.
So I'm gonna ask the question. You ever had an ugly chick holler at you?
But that's not really a self-esteem killer, like on his own. Not as on a big level.
It's a 2-part question for a reason.
Because if you know some of the
Okay,
shit Jordan
Question,
did when we
which
was
is the
young,
important part of the question.
I'm gonna answer yes.
How'd you turn her down?
Not at this time.
all I'm saying for the content of being on the father topic, we've probably all done some things that's
I wouldn't want
We
to have
would-
happen to my daughter.
exactly
For sure.
But I was probably like the least guilty of it based off of the
No,
activity.
I'm the
I
least
don't
guilty
believe it.
of
That's
it.
nigga, you
both of us.
you ended up with sons for a reason.
Exactly. I didn't need my payback. Right?
Yeah,
That's-
I mean, the
that's-
world would tell. The world would say that since you don't have a daughter, you probably had the
You
cleanest
probably
track
fucked up a
record.
couple daughters.
Nah.
No, I would
think
think it's the
other way.
opposite.
Nah, they always say you get a daughter
Because
when-
somebody gonna be trying to do your daughter
I
how
don't
you did
know.
somebody.
I don't know. God might have looked and said, "This nigga don't know what to do with girls."
I actually want a daughter, so I think I'll be good.
Yeah. I feel you there.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things I think I struggle with as a father, though, is being a little too hard on my boys. And I think we kind of went on this last week a little bit, but like, I think, you don't think I'm too
No.
hard on them?
No,
Not at all.
no, I got pissed off today. So we was at a birthday party. Julian was hungry. I told him to go ask for 2 tacos. And he looked at his mama. And I said, no, you go and you go ask for some tacos. And he was like so afraid to go up and ask because he's so used to his mama coddling him. Mamas force us to be hard on the
It's
kids
the balance.
because if they didn't baby them so much, we wouldn't have to be so hard on them.
So you are right, but this has been a topic at my house a lot lately. I just could. So I think we all agree, a father is needed in the house and a mother is needed in the house.
For
Both
sure.
roles are 100% needed.
Mhm.
Yep.
And there are times where people are single mothers. And like you said, they have to fill in that fatherly spot, but there's still a void. They don't do, there's not 100% filled. On the other side, there's single fathers, and there's a void that the mother part will never get completely filled. I could not imagine having to like be the nurturer the way that my wife does. And it's not just because I don't got it in me.
You don't
It's
got
like
that in you. We don't.
The way that she does it, no. But I have the nurture
right, but
gene
not
that
the,
I could.
not the motherly.
No.
nature,
That's
though.
not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine, like, because right now I can be the enforcer, I can be the provider, and I don't have to like go out of me.
Your comfort.
I can be nurturing, but like they need more than what I comfortably give.
Yeah.
So if I had to do what she did, it would be like the most uncomfortable thing. But she always was also saying that she doesn't want to be the I'm gonna tell your dad type of mom, where like if you being bad, like but I'm the enforcer at home. I'm the person that's giving out whoopings. I'm the one yelling at you. I'm the one that say, go lay your butt down, and then they're not gonna get back up. She had that in her bag if she needed to, but she doesn't like it. And those things, like those roles are 100% needed. And I don't think they understand how much of a, actually, I don't even want to say that part. I'm gonna just stop with, I think both of those are needed.
No, definitely needed. I think it would. would or could almost be a bit confusing to the kid if you had that range.
If everybody did everything,
Yeah, if you had the range of like
Yeah.
as soft as mom
yeah,
and as strict as dad, like I don't know. That's a range right there.
yeah.
Where it
that
could
takes
almost
2 people.
it
Yeah.
could almost come off as like like
Are you joking?
I don't even know what to think right now. You know what I mean? You yell at
Yeah.
me, but you just gave me a kiss 2 seconds
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
when I scratched my knee. Like, is this real?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's where I think that dichotomy comes into place, and it's healthy to have
Yeah.
those 2 people because you can truly like master your role, and she can master her role, and now you have, in a sense, one well balanced. I don't want to say parent, but at least upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to your example though, they make us be hard on them,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I think that range that we're talking about of like extreme nurture, which I think your wives do or
Mhm.
moms do.
You
and
can say mine because she is extreme.
You're the most extreme.
Yes.
She's the
Say
most
it again
extreme.
so she can hear it.
She probably could back a little bit.
Hey, you good,
She
Mary?
watching this. But like to the
She
other
would admit
extreme
that,
too, of like I'm extremely hard on my sons or my kids. I
Mhm.
say sons. Like both of those extremes are needed. Or do you think she could back off a
Yes.
whole lot
I
to
think
make your job easier?
Yeah, I think it's easier for us to back off a little bit of
Mhm.
how hard we have to be
Definitely.
if they weren't babied so much. And it's
True.
Yeah.
right. And like if I lack, right, if I'm not as hard on them right now, she's not going to change how much she babies them.
Right. But that range he's talking about of like extreme nurture, like past
Yes. That's what I'm
what's
saying. Like
needed,
that
you don't
ain't
think
needed.
you think that's excessive and
Yes.
like unnecessary?
I think that
it's
Uh-huh.
not
there.
helpful at all.
It's
I think that
there's-
there are very few situations where either extreme are actually needed, right? So I think one of the things that comes into play when it comes to parenting is like, as the dad, when you see the mom too extreme on this side, like you can pull it back in,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, if I'm being a little too forceful,
Mhm.
right, she can pull me aside and say, yeah, no, you probably going a little too hard right there.
I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest frustrations for me with it is it's like, all right, let's say we're talking about a spectrum, 0 to 10
Yep.
nurturing, 0 to 10 being hard ass.
Yep.
Mary's at a fucking 10 when it
Yeah.
comes to babying.
15.
Right.
15.
Yeah, she might have broke the meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so
20.
yeah. There's times I can be at a 10. There's times I might break the meter.
Yeah.
But I'm not always at a 10.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, she's always at a minimum 10.
No, far.
You get my point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
I see what you're saying.
yeah, so it's like if she doesn't baby them so much, because the problem what it does is when she babies them so much, and I'm always having to be the voice in the house of discipline.
Yeah.
Now dad looks like the bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now you get frustrated when the kids don't want to come ask me for something
Yep.
because they know you're going to tell them yes every time. But
Yeah.
you tell them to come ask dad, there's going to be times dad's going to tell them, no, you don't need that. You're about to have dinner. You don't need a fucking snack.
Yep.
So that's for me why I think the over nurturing is worse than being more disciplined in the household.
I got a question
Let's
for
say
you, Jordan.
there's. Okay, go.
Is your spectrum the same with Juju as it is with Jade?
No,
I don't think it should be though.
no.
Where do you
It's
think
not.
it should be?
I don't think. It
I
should
don't
be
know if
either.
it should be or not.
Now, I
but
will say this,
I
though.
can almost say in my house, it's damn near role reversal when it comes to Kyla.
Yeah, like Shay's the hard ass.
Nigga, I'm soft as shit.
Okay. So the question I was gonna say is, Jordan kind of said, if
Mommy
you might
won't
have,
give you cupcakes for dinner.
Jordan kind of had like his version of what would it be like if there's women listening to the Bros group chat today,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and their mothers. What would be something that like you would want the mothers to know about being a father? Like, I feel like this example is a really good one.
Yes.
Is there any more?
That's a really good
Because
one.
my answer is kind of similar to what you're saying is my wife has her boys.
Yeah.
And she gets to just love on them.
Yeah.
And she gets to like let me do all the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And she's always said, like, if I had a daughter, nah, she ain't gonna be doing this. And I'll be like, why would you, like, that's kind of tough on them. And you don't be like that with Emery or with Enzo. But to me, I feel like if I had a daughter, I would have my one where I'm gonna like grab you up and we about to sit on the couch for hours and I'm just gonna hug and cuddle on you.
You know what it is?
I don't think she like realizes that she gets a part that I don't get to have.
You know what I think what it really is for me anyway, right? In the relationship that I have with my wife, right? The relationship that she has with me, we have expectations of each other, right? And we can get a little attitudey with each other if we feel like the other person ain't holding up their end of the bargain on a particular.
You know what's something that drives me crazy? You know this. Mary, like
Hey,
going back,
let that slide?
going back to like the stuff that that's what he do when he talked to Kyla. Yeah, but like Mary adds like a Y to everything. Everything. She be like, "You want some cereal? You want some eggies?"
I'd be able to tell her like his name is not Enzo. Like, just leave him, let my man live.
That's crazy. I started talking about my daughter, my vocabulary changed. But what I was saying is that like loving your daughter is almost like the same way that you love your wife if you had no expectations of her. Like she can't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
But that's
a pretty good example.
That's why it's so damn hard for me to be hard on her about anything. Like,
see, I'm not.
She has to be extreme for me to even get to the point of damn near being a good parent.
Okay, what about Jazz?
Nah,
everything out the window.
Real life.
You're perfect.
Real
That's
life.
my baby.
Real life. Like there's.
Okay,
like,
but let me ask you a
she's
question.
my friend right now because she too.
Is this because she's the youngest though? Did you treat Jazz
I was
the
gonna
same
ask
way?
that. Jazz is older.
Yeah, I treat Jazz the same way. Jazz, she be watching this shit, but
I think it's
luckily for me, she don't ever do nothing wrong that gets caught. All right, so, but yeah, no, I treat Jazz the same way. Like it is very, very hard for me to even get mad at her.
I think it's slightly different, but I think it should be because Jazz is 14 to 16 or something like that.
Yep.
Where like you can't just nurture and love. She needs lessons. She needs discipline. She needs some of those things.
To a certain point, right?
Well,
like
that's what you're doing. So.
to a certain point, and I can say like Kyla's upbringing is definitely a little bit different than Jasmine's upbringing because I'm in a different place in life.
How often does Kyla tell you no?
Every day.
Tell me no?
Yes.
Every day.
And how do you?
And what do you
respond to
say?
that?
It depends on what I'm.
Or do you not
Kyla,
have
put
to?
this away. No.
Or does she not?
no,
or
no.
do you
She
not
doesn't-
have to
she
because
doesn't
Shay's
get-
gonna jump
She
on
don't
it?
get that. It's not that type of stuff. It's more so, Kyla, come here, give me a kiss. She'll be like, sorry. I'm like,
All right, I mean,
But
I'm
like-
in trouble for that though.
yeah.
I'm-
So like,
Cause like so to the double standard things, like I'm not like you, right?
no, I know.
But like,
Trust me, I know my.
Okay.
I thought I was soft.
Like-
And hearing this nigga talk
No,
right
no,
now,
no,
I'm
no.
like,
Trust me, I get called out on it all the time.
so
All the
go
time.
But if your wife is playing your role, it gives you freedom to be able to do that.
And she's raising herself, so that's
yeah.
it's her fault.
Yeah.
Like anything wrong she does, like that's little you. So
Yep.
So I would say, so going back to the spectrums that I had, right? Like if I'm at a 10 on Jew,
yeah,
Jay gonna get about like a 7, 8.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she not gonna get the 9 or the 10.
Yeah.
But I will say, Mary don't baby Jade as much as she baby Julian
not
also.
even
There you
a
go.
little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I
But-
think if you truly looked at it, the balance is probably
Right.
exactly
So,
where it should be.
the daughter
It's
gets the
probably
balance.
at a 0.
The son doesn't get the balance.
You don't think so?
No,
In my household.
No, I think he probably does.
No, he doesn't. He gets too babied by his mama.
No,
All right, this
he
is what
gets
I'm
the
saying.
extreme on that side, and you have
So
to.
if
Yeah, but
counteract
that
it.
ain't healthy.
But you have to give an unhealthy amount of hard ass.
That ain't good for me.
I mean,
it ain't about you.
It's all about him.
I think if the kid is at a net 0,
Yeah.
you in a good spot.
Yeah.
Right?
It just
Like if
Nah,
Mary's
mama
a
baby
negative 10
has-
and you a 10, that's a net zero right
Mary
there.
at 15. And you got to get there, which is
Or
unhealthy. I see what
If
you're
it
saying.
falls into the softer side, I think I'm a little cool with that too.
The
I don't
softer
think-
side, I feel like it need to fall on the like this nigga side.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't
feel
think so. I think life is hard enough for I don't think it need to fall on that side.
I don't know.
Not at home.
It depends. Oh, I mean just in general, but I don't know.
Well,
Anybody else got a?
Well, let's hear your intake on it.
Like, is it a double standard?
Nah, just
on that?
like you disciplining, like how hard are you on Demi
Scale of 1 to
compared to
10.
like Deja?
To be honest, this is what I'll say about our situation. I think that, granted, moms still have things that I can't compensate for. Dad still have things that she can't compensate for. But I feel like even individually, we really do well at just balancing the range.
Mm-hmm.
Like she can be a disciplinarian, but I still have the lead on that. You know what I mean, so to speak, so that like she can, unlike what Danielle said, like she didn't want to be like, here comes your dad situation. I'm that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm all right, I'm gonna go get your dad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still in that realm, but I also feel like it was important for me to have a daughter because I think if I had a son first, I wouldn't be this balanced as a parent. Because I would be
I'd
a
agree
hard
that
ass.
with you
I would
because
feel bad for your son.
I'm extreme.
yeah, and you got a temp. Well, you come a long way,
No, for sure.
but I think your daughter has helped you come a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I don't think it would have been as easy if I had a son first.
Yeah.
But now if I have a son, I feel like I
You'd
would
have been handing
understand
out
it.
welts.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I would have just been I'd just been my dad's child, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're gonna take these lessons and understand.
You used to be the happiest, angriest person that I knew.
That's pretty much the balance.
He said, I'm at a net zero.
I'm at a net zero.
What you want, a hug or some hands?
Are there ever times where y'all feel like you're failing or you're maybe not failing like as a whole as a father, but failing in areas or moments where you feel like you didn't do the best?
For me, and I think it goes back to, it's still a carryover from what we just been talking about the last few minutes, is those moments where I have to really force Julian to open up and talk to me. Because
Like if it feels bad for you or like what do you say?
No,
what is the
because
feeling?
he's been the enforcer the whole time.
Mhm.
And then it's like, how do you create that safe communication lane? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where it's like, I ask him what's wrong, and he will tell me nothing 10 times in a row until I get to the point where it's like, Julian, talk to me.
Yeah.
What is on your mind? What are you feeling right now? And forcing him. So like the fact that he doesn't just answer it the first time that I ask him, like, and it's that balance that we've talked about. And I will say this, the separation helped with that because it forced me to have to where in the house, there wasn't mom in the house for a while.
Yeah.
So I had to have those conversations more, where before I don't think I had to have them.
Right.
Right. But now it's like, no, like it's something like I want him to be able to like come to me when something's wrong. Or if I notice he's off, I can go ask him. And the first time he's like, well, this is what's bothering me, Dad.
Yeah.
Open up to you.
Yeah.
I think for
No,
me,
that's a solid point.
the times where like there's been times where like I've had to like yell at my son and just tell him like you've been fucking up all day or like you're not doing right and not
You think a
realizing.
3-year-old understands being told that?
So here's my
I'm just wondering how a 3-year-old fucks up all day. What's he supposed to be doing?
well, which one?
Maybe you are too hard.
So that was gonna be my answer. Of like sometimes I'll have it where like we going to bed and I'm just like, damn, my man's got multiple whoopings. He just got yelled at to go to sleep, and there's like, he's 3. Like maybe I should be a little easier on him.
But I will say that like doing that now, laying that foundation.
You don't have to do it when they're 13.
Yes.
To go
Like
forward.
y'all see me like
Yeah.
I put a certain tone in the voice, a certain look on the face, they tighten up like
Quick.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I get what you're saying, but I think there is a silver line in that also.
For sure. So that's where mine is. Is like there are times where I feel like, dang, I'm going a little too hard. And there's been times where like I'll put him to sleep or make him go to sleep or like put him down and I'll leave the room. He'll still be awake. And I'll have to like go back and be like, I'm sorry, dude.
Mhm.
Like, I know you're just figuring this stuff out. I know like you was excited. You was energized or whatever. We're gonna do better tomorrow. And I have to like force myself to do that. Because nobody did that for me at all.
Yeah.
And I think my parents was as hard on me, probably not harder than, I don't know. I don't remember being that young. But here, just for reference, he's getting whoopings for things of like, you're potty trained, but you're peeing on yourself right after I asked you, did you have to go pee?
That's
Right.
a whooping.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like,
We need like a tally scale, like point.
Yeah.
No point.
or like, we are getting ready for bed and you're like playing, I tell you come here, and you're playing, I tell you come here, and you're playing, I tell you to come here, and then I get up and I'm about to pop you, and then you want to get your stuff together, and then 5 minutes later we have to go through the same, I'm playing, come here. And there's just a pop, and then you get back in order.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a whooping, not whooping, whatever you want to call it. You do a few of those, and then it's like now your whole bedtime routine is like now you don't want to have fun. It's like, damn, maybe I should have just let you play too many more times and told you, come here one more time. It's like little stuff like that where you kind of mess up the momentum, but it should be like, am I being too hard? So that's like where sometimes I feel like I'm failing. Maybe not failing, but those are the times where it feels like in a moment I failed or didn't do my best for me.
Yeah. I think for me, the times where I feel like I don't do my best is usually conflict resolution, as you alluded to. Like
conflict with your daughter or with others?
With others. Like so, my temper has gotten better, but it's not gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that I'm always conscious of my behavior when she sees me in that element. So that's the only thing for me, because like when she gets upset now, she does little shit that reminds me of me, and I'm like, this is not what I want you to know.
You
like,
feel like you're not setting the right example.
Yeah. So I would definitely say that's my area where if you were to say like I have to be better, is that, because the first time she did that shit, it almost broke my heart. Talking to her was big, like Justin being like, why'd you do that? Because, I'm angry. Why are you angry? Because this happened. So like that's where we are today. But before she really used to throw shit like me. Like, like she would literally pick shit up and throw it and stop and little shit like that. But like now she's better in the sense that for almost 3-year-old, like she really knows how to express how she feels. Deja actually just said it yesterday or this morning. Like, I'm really glad that she knows how to talk through what she's feeling. Like, because even though she is angry, she's saying, Mommy, Daddy, I'm angry. Why are you angry? Because I wanted to do this and we can't do that right now. Like, that's good with me versus like blowing up. So,
I can't say that there's a time where I feel like I'm failing now. Like, it's been a while since I've had that feeling. Obviously, I've been a parent for 17 years now, almost 18 in October. And I think that just throughout that journey, I've come to the understanding or the belief that like, if you're present and you're trying, you can't do too much harm. You know what I mean? Like, if you truly love your kids, when we talk about like extremes, like realistically, we never go too extreme. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like any of our kids are getting beat. You know what I mean?
I don't know about his, what he talk about.
Nah, they ain't. Trust me. Right? But it's like, as long as you're like, even when it comes to like disciplining my sons, you know what I mean? Like, if they lie to me, they getting punched. Right? But it's a rule.
he started this off so calm,
I'm
right?
1000% with him.
I'm still calm. Like, They know it. The moms know it.
Absolutely.
The sister knows it. Everybody in the world knows. I'm punching you
right in the dead
You know
in the
what I mean?
chest.
100%.
But to your point, I'm punching you in the chest, right? If I didn't love you, I'd punch you in the jaw. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not real life. But you my son.
I think that's true.
So I'm gonna make sure that like whatever happens here, whether I go too far, don't go, like we can come back from it. We can still get back to a healthy place, right? And I think that for just dads in general, if you're if you're present, if you love your kid and you're trying your best, you're gonna be good.
I was just laughing because he started off so calm and like leveled, and then he just went to a punch in the chest. And I was like,
but I'm still level with it. Like it's just an example of
leveled.
like.
But
All right, let me ask you though a question,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't think you answered the question.
Okay.
Like, as a young dad,
Yeah.
right? Go back to when you first had Jaden,
Yeah.
right? There was moments you had to feel.
Yeah.
right?
No.
So, like, what would you share?
Man, there's all types of moments, right? Like, so it could be a moment where you can't get them the gift that you want, right? And it's like, man, I need to make more money,
That
right?
pursuit of happiness.
Or
feeling.
you can't be at that thing. And you're like, man, he's gonna be ruined because I didn't come to this thing,
Mhm.
right? And as you go throughout life, you realize that, like, okay, if I show up to 9 out of 10 things, like, we good. I'm not gonna ruin my kid from this one experience. My kid's not gonna confuse me not getting him this gift with my dad don't like me or love me. You know what I mean? Or
Right,
I'm not deserving, or just all the stuff that you're worried about when it comes to like damaging your kids.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna do that damage, right? Like if you're there,
Yeah.
there's gonna be so many moments that seem insignificant, where y'all are sitting on the couch watching TV
that they remember.
that override that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you might not think anything of it because I'm just watching the Lakers and this nigga's just sitting next to me.
Yeah.
All right, we ain't talking, but like those moments just mean so much more than we give ourselves credit for.
yeah,
I was gonna end it there, but I have one quick question for y'all.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any like things that you've dealt with that you feel like your parents kind of messed you up with, or like your dad like could have done better in the area that you're just like not gonna fuck up my kids the way that I feel like happened to me?
Exist?
mine's. I think everybody know my answer.
Oh.
It's just the anger, bro. Like
Oh.
mine just
Uncle James be mad like that?
I ain't never
he's
seen your
much
daddy
he's
mad.
much better
Yeah,
these
like,
days,
oh, no,
for
man,
sure.
yeah. He chilling.
He's much better these days, but you know, we've had plenty of conversations about it. So I'm glad that as I got older, we got to address it. But it was definitely the anger because I grow up and part of him is like, I mean, this how we operate here at McCowan, and he just let me do this shit. Like, and I'm like, nigga, you could have stopped me at some point and been like, this, you can't do this for too long, or else you're gonna end up in a bad spot. So I kind of had to realize it myself first. But I think that was definitely something for me because it was just like, as long as I'm not actually hurting anybody I love, then the anger was free to express itself however it comes out.
Ask the question one more time.
Is there any things that like you remember that had like a mark on your upbringing that your father did, or things that you done, or your parents in general, that's like
Like,
memorable and you want
I don't want to do that as a dad. Yeah, I got a couple of those. So my dad obviously lived in LA, right? I lived in Vegas most of my life. And like one of the things as a kid I could never understood was like I would get in trouble with my mom. She'll tell my dad. I'll see my dad like 3 months later, and he still give me a whooping over something that happened 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And literally words like, son, I got to give you a whooping because I told your mom I'd give you a whooping. When you done crying, then we can go have fun. Like,
God damn.
crazy.
That's vicious.
Yeah. So like,
Is it that bad?
yes.
Hell yeah.
You wouldn't do that to your kids?
No, I can't give you a whooping if I'm not like
Bro, 3
upset
months
in
after?
that moment.
Yeah.
Like he not even, it's literally a whooping based off principle.
Nigga said, I'm a man of my word.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's okay. I don't know for sure.
There is principle
think,
behind
like,
it, but that's crazy.
If Danielle told you Emery did something 3 weeks ago, and that moment she didn't want to tell you that he did it because she knew you'd give him a whooping.
Nah.
Right.
Because here's my question for you: like, as a kid at that time, does that second whooping help?
No.
Anything.
What it would do was it would like take away the excitement I had. My dad's coming to. I only got to see my dad a couple times a year.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, so it's like knowing, cool, my dad's coming, but he's also coming to give me a whooping.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen
anything
you in
that
person.
I did between the last 2 times.
Yeah. And it ain't like back then we had FaceTime.
Right.
Where like, now you can FaceTime people and you can still feel like you're with them.
Yeah.
And stuff. So like, for me, it's like, I'm not going to carry over stuff you did before.
Yeah.
That was like, I'm not going to hold on to that and continue to be upset with you over stuff. Like, we're going to get over it, whether it's a conversation or you can get a whooping right then on the spot.
I feel like your mama also should have been like, it's been 3 months, Quincy. Like, let him slide.
She probably wanted me to get the whooping too.
You probably did some shit
She
before
probably
you
said,
left.
"Listen,
So much stuff I didn't tell you.
That was
Trust
as
me.
much on her side as his.
And then another thing too, and it kind of ties in a little bit together, right? Like, so this is kind of, I guess, a little opposite of what you were just saying not too long, Calvin, about like being there
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, and I'm sure you can probably relate to this with Jaden living in another state.
Yeah.
Like growing up, like I wish my dad was at more of my stuff.
Yep.
Right? Like he wasn't able to make, like, I think in high school, he made it to maybe 3 games in 4 years.
Gotcha.
Right? So like, and then even like growing up, Pop Warner, he maybe made 1 or 2 games a season. And even then though, it's like you're thinking in your head, it's like, damn, like you can come out here, make sure you give me this whooping, but you can't come down here to like to be present. Like, especially it's a 4-hour drive. Right?
Yeah.
Like you could make that trip more.
Yeah.
Right. So like for me, it's like I'm so adamant, like not missing my kids' stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are times where like I may have to miss like a practice.
Yeah.
But like I'm very big on not like missing games and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't be missing shit. I commend you for it, brother. 'Cause you be on the clock all the way around trying to make sure you make it to everything.
I would say the one for me that has stuck. I actually sat and had a meeting, not a meeting, but like we had like a family dinner. My dad asked like, "Is there anything that y'all feel like we could have done better?" And that time I was like, "Nah, it's cool, whatever. We good, we grown." But like after having kids and then like letting it sit and letting that thought, like thinking about it, and actually was a very specific experience that happened that made me realize this wasn't a one-time experience. It was like throughout my upbringing, but it was, for me, it was I don't think my dad as much told me that I could do anything. Like I feel like there was always somewhat of a limitation on what's possible for me.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't that he told me, "Nah, you can't do this if you ask," or something like that, but there was always the hint of like, maybe you should just stay in this lane, or things like that.
Gotcha.
Do the safe thing.
Yeah, and for me, what it was is like when I was an adult, y'all know how I like randomly picked up woodworking as an adult, and just like I ain't gonna say I'm good at it or great, but whatever. But like I was at his house and I was like, I'm gonna make you this whatever for his poker room, not his art poker room really, but like his game room, whatever. He was like, "You can't make that," and I was like, "Yes, I can." Like I've made similar stuff, and he was like, "You gonna cut your finger off?" Like just playing around something like that. And I was just like, "I fuck it then. I ain't gonna make it then," because it's like, why would you not think that I could like do that?
Right.
So I think, and then like after that, it was like on my mind, like that like really triggered me a little bit, and it was always like I've always been an entrepreneurial person, a person with big ideas, and like always like, to me, if my kid told me something like I want to make this business or I want to try this or whatever, bet I'm about to figure out every little thing. We about to spend some money. We about to spend some time. We about to like try to see how high you can take this.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that he would tell me like don't try that. But it was never like I'm putting my resources, my time, my money, my energy, my thoughts into showing you that this is possible. If you want to do it, like the next person do it, you could do it and probably better. Like that's what I want my kids to feel. Yeah. And I didn't know that was like my thought process or the experience that I was having until damn near 30-something years old.
You think he's aware of that impact?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think, and honestly, he probably told me multiple times you can do anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
But telling somebody in the actions like probably didn't align.
Mhm.
I don't
I got
think,
you.
I think it was like a thing he was probably blind to that I
Yeah.
was blind to. So
Okay. I would say for me, so my dad was around from 0 to 5, and then from 15 to 16. And the major gaps came from him either being in jail or making the conscious decision to, I'm going to take this time away so I can focus on starting my business, right? And building this. And then once I'm successful, I'll be back.
yeah,
Right. So with me as an entrepreneur, like one of the things that is huge for me is ensuring that like everything that I do is in service of my family. Right. Like the reason I'm an entrepreneur is so I don't miss stuff. Right. And so I have control over my time, my schedule. So I have the ability to quote unquote like clock in when my kids go to bed.
yeah,
Right. And not have to be clocked in when it's game time.
yeah.
Right. So I think that's one of the things that definitely shaped me as a father is just making sure that I was the exact opposite of what I experienced growing up.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we got real deep too, and I think this is like an excellent episode. So
For sure.
wrap this up. Just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the men, the
Yes,
fathers
sir.
out here. Definitely click in, tap into with the group chat. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.